All right. Just want to make sure I'm recording because I'm doing this on a new program and I'm at the shop, and I just wanted to get on today because I have not done a video since December. I think December was the last time I had done a YouTube video, and I just feel like it's been forever. So I'm on here today to do a little bit of everything. Um, a little TED talk, a little astrological talk, just kind of update you on my life and what's going on, and just a little bit of everything. So, hello. I know it seems like it's been forever, which it has. Literally, like probably 7 months already. So, I guess I'll start from the beginning. Back in December, my health decided to take a crap. And I had some, mid-life female issues going on, and it was not fun. So I've had a few months here of trying to get medicine and dealing with things. And, when it comes to women's health and what the doctors want to do openly without 50 million tests and, trying 10 million different options, it's just ridiculous. But I think we're on the mend. I think we've found a direction on how I can go best about this, even though part of it I've had to make that decision on my own, even though the doctor had kind of, decided to push me in a different direction. I did enough research myself and said, hell no. So I've gotten that leveled out. And then again, this last month, into this month, I've had like another little health bout going on, and it just seems like it's never ending. So again, on medication, trying to figure out what's going on. I think part of this has just been with this whole pandemic and being home so much, and just kind of being so introverted. I think I just kind of let my health go to crap. That's part of the issue. So this month I am trying to get back on track on maintaining things and laying off the snacking and getting back down a little bit of weight that I've put on over the last 2 years. So, which leads me up to also March. So I had been running my store out of my house. I had been for, a couple of years now. Just hit my 3rd year anniversary. And then I was kind of outgrowing the space that I had, to the point that I was putting shelving in areas of the house to cover inventory. And I needed to find a place. So I was lucky enough. My neighbors actually had connections with a location that had this spot coming up. So now in March, I signed my lease and just was super, super excited to move in. So I got moved into my first part of the store. There was someone renting the space next to me, but we had found out there was like a adjoining door between the two. So as soon as her lease was up, which was the end of March, April, I signed a lease on the second location and took over, just another area. So we just kind of expanded from my original spot into the next spot. So now I have, 2 areas. And of course, I'm already looking at the third, hoping that, at some point they might decide to move out, only because this is like a little separate room with a separate entrance. It's small. I want to do my healing. I want to do protocols, which is kind of like, what I want to say. kind of like a massage, but it's not. It's an application of essential oils that work with your body to, address certain ailments that you have. So I'm really, really wanting to get that going. And then, of course, to have a separate tarot room for me to do my readings would be absolutely fabulous. And then I have some other things in the works that I'll talk about when I get closer to that. But so yeah, here we are in June. I've been open a few months. Word is getting around in my little town, and it's just been an amazing experience to be present and local. I've had a couple events. We just had one last Saturday. It sucked because the wind blew us out of there probably 3 hours before the event was up, but it was still really a good day. So yeah, that kind of brings us up to present. Now that I've kind of got the shop up and going and where I want to be for the time being, I need to get back on my social media, my outside, my pages, and, get some things going back. So like my podcast and my YouTube channel were two things that I really wanted to address this month. I'm hoping I still have time before the end of the month to get another episode up for my podcast. But so let's talk a little bit about astrology here this month. We just hit summer solstice here, Lithia, on Tuesday, the 21st, where I am. And it differs depending on where you are in the world, but where I am, it was the 21st. It was an absolutely beautiful day here. It was overcasted. It was, like 15 to 20 degrees cooler. I wish I would have had more time to be outside, but until the shop takes off full force and everything that I have going on online, I'm juggling this and another job. So it'll get there. I know it'll get there. I just have to be patient, and that's one thing that I just lack. So I hope you all had an amazing solstice, because there was, we had the super moon this month. There was a lot of energy. So, and there's a lot more energy to come before the end of the month. So tomorrow, the 20th, oh no, we're still, what is today? Thursday. Yeah, it is tomorrow. Okay, so the 24th, tomorrow, we have another planet parade, what I'm calling a planet parade. It is an alignment of 5 planets, and I'm going to call it 6 because our moon is involved too. So if you are up really late, like after midnight, you might be able to see it, but honestly, it's going to be the early wee mornings right before dawn, I think, is going to be the best time that you're going to get to view it. And it is Mercury, Venus, Saturn, the moon, Jupiter, and Mars. So I know they don't count the moon. That's why I said I'm counting the moon, but there's 6 of them that are going to be lined up in the sky. So that's kind of a cool thing to see. And we also have Neptune going into retrograde. So this I kind of want to talk about because, everybody talks about Mercury and the effects that Mercury retrograde has. Everybody fears it. It's, it is one of those times, the 3 to 4 times a year when it goes retrograde that we all kind of crap, but there's a difference between Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde, or sorry, Neptune retrograde. Let me take a drink here. So when we're in Mercury retrograde, it is a communication issue. It is, don't sign contracts, miscommunications, electronics are shitty, your cars do funky things, that's the kind of stuff that you look for when Mercury is in retrograde. Neptune is a little different. So this Neptune is really about the fantasy world that we live in. And what I mean by that is, there are aspects in our life that we candy coat, that we choose to candy coat, whether that be our artistic side and how we apply our arts to crafting, how we see relationships, friendships. There could be some toxic relationships going on, but we've just kind of decided to put that mask on, and I kind of like to call it like the fog machine. So you're on the dance floor. Fog machine has everything pretty much covered, but you can see, bits and pieces, what's going on. But you don't really see the full story until you get up to, up close enough to really have, the fog clear. So this is kind of what Neptune's going to do when you go into retrograde here. And this sucker's going retrograde till December. So we're going to have plenty of time to work on our subconscious, because this is what Neptune's about. Our inner, our subconscious, our third eye, our dream world. So where we have fantasized our life, maybe some situation, the veil is going to be lifted during retrograde. The illusions that we've put out and put ourselves in are going to be lifted, and reality might take a big slap in the ass at some point, at some degree of whatever in your life. It's not going to be directed. It's not going to be outside influences. It's going to be the walls and the veil that you've put up yourself, things that you've tried to put out of your mind or candy coat or, make a situation better than really what it is. That's what Neptune's going to do, is it's going to shine the light on things that need to be addressed. So you'll have plenty of months to work on it and figure out what you need to change, what you need to look at differently. And there are the mutable signs, the 4 mutable signs. Okay, I had a car pull up. The 4 mutable signs that are in our zodiac, that Neptune's going to affect the most. And that is Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. So I'm a Virgo. I'm kind of worried. I'm really kind of worried. Taking a big chance on a store and, trying to live the dream here. Is it going to work? I mean, I'm going in full force, but I just worry about what veils are going to be lifted. What unforeseen things did I put a mask over that I decided not to see because I was just so gung-ho on this goal. So that's my scenario. That's something that maybe you can use to relate to your own life and be like, oh God, yeah, I did rush into this. Maybe really, because I wanted it so bad. I didn't think things through. These are the kind of things that are going to pop up and be like, oh, let me show you the other side of this. Let me show you the other side of that. And let me show you the truth behind what you decided to powder and put away. Oh, I think it's raining. Yay! So that's what's going on here with Neptune. I think we have a new moon here in the day after Neptune goes direct. The 29th is what I'm looking at on my calendar. So we have a new moon. I'm pretty sure it's Pisces new moon. So again, another mutable sign and an emotional sign. So could be the next couple weeks. I mean, we always have crazy astrological events going on. A lot of them are not talked about. So if you're in a rough patch, and I get it. There are times, there are retrogrades, there are supermoons, there are blood eclipse moons. There's all this stuff that goes on that it doesn't affect me. I don't get anything from it. And most people should be that way. There should be certain events that don't touch you. But then there are the ones that align with more of your signs in your birth chart. And when that happens, that's when you're in trouble. That's when I'm in trouble. So that's what I'm looking forward to. The other thing I wanted to talk about was, the online Coven. Okay. So here's where I'm at. Honestly, here's where I'm at. I'm sorry, Virgo, perfectionist, talked myself out of it before I got it launched. I have a patron sitting there waiting to be launched for the membership, for the Coven, and I'm calling it a Coven. It's just going to be a group of witches of all walks, of all lives, that I seriously am going to monitor. I cannot believe the bullshit, literally, on all of these social media apps. Anytime anything baneful is mentioned, everybody jumps on the threefold thing. I get it. Not everybody practices that way. You know, you have to be mindful of other people's paths. And that is one thing that I just see constantly. I mean, things popping. TikTok is the absolute worst. Things popping up on there about how, I don't know if it's true. It's just hearsay from another account. Moon water's a closed practice. But this is making it so hard. You know, I spoke to a customer today who is very much in the very beginning stages of this path and has what I believe to be a high priestess who is teaching her. And she, you know, very much feels like being drugged back into the politics portion around, religion, doing the Wiccan thing. I get it. That's very much, if you choose that and you choose that path, I mean, that's perfectly fine. But she obviously has had some issues with the way this person is, asking her to practice and instructing her that this is the only way to practice. And see, this is where I have a huge problem. Huge problem. There is not one way to practice. I don't care if you've been practicing for 2 years or 20 plus years. It's not. This shit riles me up. And, especially since I've opened the store and I've got to speak to people face to face and really get, and it's not just this woman, there's been several, everybody. And I mean, even when I get asked, when I say openly that I'm a witch, oh, you're a Wiccan. No, I don't practice that creed. I don't live by just that creed. There are aspects of the Wiccan path that I do like. I do. The Wheel of the Year is wonderful. That's very paganist, before that. But the Sabbats, things like that, there's a lot of crossovers. So to call yourself, a Wiccan when you don't fully understand the whole thing, I think is just, you really should just need to be educated. That's all. So that's what I wanted to do with the online coven. Just a really open place for people to be absolutely open, no gatekeeping, don't run your mouth. I mean, I really want this. I mean, I have this on every single page that I am involved in or that I follow or groups that I'm in. It's the same thing. So here's where I'm at with the coven. This was one of the main reasons that I talked myself out of it. So honestly, I need opinions. So I have people interested from the post that I made, 7 months ago, 8 months ago. I have people interested around the world. So this is not just going to be a United States thing where I'm at. I have several people involved. So countries. I need to find a app, a platform, something that can be accessed worldwide. Initially I had thought, I'll start a closed group, just a minimum monthly fee of, kind of a teachable Facebook page. Then, with the patron that I have sitting there, if you want to go further and you want to, have some one-on-ones and you need some direction or you need, spell work, help, things like that, then there is another package available for that. And then if you are actually wanting taught, again, I am a solitary practitioner. I bring energy from every walk. So, that is something that you have to choose with me, because I am very much non-traditional when it comes to teaching. So, and then there is that also on my patron. So that's where I'm at. I'm literally sitting to the point that all I do is add this to my website and launch this thing. The Facebook page is created. It's sitting there. It's been sitting there for months. I talked myself out of it, but my main concern is finding an app where we can all access it. Not everyone uses Facebook. Not everyone uses Instagram. I need some sort of an app. There was a fun little, like a downloadable app called Voxer that you could text through. You can turn the notifications off, check in on you want it, kind of like Reddit. But it would be for members only, and it would only be a linkable thing when you paid for that membership. So, I mean, there's a few options, but I'm open. I'm not up and familiar with the way everybody does their pages or community pages like that, coven pages. I'm calling it a coven, even though it's very non-traditional coven-ish. But this is where I'm at. So if you guys have any ideas, please drop them below in the videos. Please let me know what you think. If you've heard of something, if you've been involved in another one that used a platform that you thought was really user-friendly, that you really liked, I need suggestions, because the online coven is not out. I'm just kind of sitting here like, how do I get a platform that's going to be accessible worldwide? So that's where I'm at. Catch up for the last 8 months. I'm still going to try and do a YouTube video once or twice a month. It's just going to have to be here at the store a little bit before I close in the evening. So, yeah. Happy Thursday. I hope you all are doing well. Drop me a comment. Share my page. Follow. I'd love to hit that 1,000 followers so I could actually have a link and not a number. So, okay, I'm done. I'm 20 minutes. That's way too long. Bye.